All right. It's the next day. It was really late last night, and using the grinder at 10 o'clock at night isn't great for the neighbours. And I'll go through this really quickly because I've paused the cricket and I'm missing out here. But as I said last night, we have marked the level point on these rear legs, which is level from the harness pass through in the seat. Now the car isn't sitting 100% at ride height where it will on race day. It's quite a bit lower in the front end. Back end's probably a bit low, but it's also on blocks, so it's probably close to being right. So we'll assume the car is raked forward at maybe 1 or 2 degrees more than it will be. Now the regulations state that for an FHR they want no more pull down than 10 degrees from the horizontal, and it says it's recommended, so it's not a hard and fast rule, but I've got the ability to stay within that 10 degrees, and that's what they recommend, so that's what's safest. That's what I'm going to go with. Now I've got my level point. I will also mark 10 degrees down, and we'll just shoot for somewhere in the middle, nice and simple. And as I've said, this is the easiest bar in history to do. We measure the throat line. Because these bars aren't 100% parallel, they are going out a little bit. I'll measure top and I'll measure bottom of tube, and 10 seconds of trigonometry will tell me what the angle is. I can set my notcher to that angle. I probably don't need to. I can probably weld the gap up because it'll be tiny, but I've got the ability to get it tight. I may as well do it. And then the angle this way is the same, so the notch will go through at exactly the same angle on both sides. So just when we do it, we just have to remember to put the tube clamp on when we do the first notch, and then we'll take it out, turn it around, and we'll have to flip it upside down because they're divergent. That probably doesn't make much sense to anyone, but it will when you actually go ahead and do it. If you're not doing it, it doesn't matter anyway. Now, it's obviously hot as out here, so I'm going to quickly get this tube cut and tacked in. I'm not going to put a welding jacket on and throw blankets around and stuff. It's too hot, so I'll get it tacked in and we'll move on to something else. I'd actually kind of like to have a look at the dash today while the seat and everything is in, see if I can. I've got 3 dashes now, so I've got 3 goes at it because the old shell had this dash in it, which already had a notch for the cage. It's got a notch there, it's got a cut here, and it's also got a bracket here which bolts onto where this dash bar bolts in. So I might hack it up first because it's already been hacked up. Then I've got the dash out of this car, and then that car has a dash in it as well. So I've got 3 goes at it. Hopefully one of them works out. But anyway, I have an absolute mess here too from last night. Clean it up. Get the bar cut. Let's do it. So I got him sat in the car there. Now that clamp's not doing anything. It's actually jammed in there. Threw my angle finder on, a few spots on the car and worked out that it's currently leaning about 2 degrees downhill, which is ironically enough not the angle that the camera is on. I still haven't reset the horizon in my gimbal, but whatever. Now, I've got this set up here. As you can see, top of tube, we're currently 3.75 degrees down. However, the harness will pull from the middle when it's set up nice and tight. So center of tube to out, we're about 6 degrees, which is good. Which means that if I, want to lift the seat up, I can go up to sort of there before I hit 10 degrees, which is a good, 20, 30 mil. And 0 degrees is there, which is, 20, 30 mil down. So plenty of adjustment, which is good. I can move the seat up and down. I can tilt the car over and back, whatever. Happy with that. Now throw some tacks in it. We'll move on to something else. Let's do it. All right, so while not ideal, I think I'm just going to cut this dash with a grinder. Ideally for plastics, you want a toothed wheel, not an abrasive wheel. This is just going to melt its way through, but I mean, this is only really for testing purposes, and I don't really care. And also the benefit is that a grinding wheel has a very thin kerf. Like my thinnest saw blade is 1.5 mil. This is 0.9 mil, so even when I tidy it up, I'm probably gonna end up with a thinner cut. So I'm just gonna hack this thing in half. I might try and make it neat, just in case it works. I doubt it, but whatever, here we go. Here we go. Is this gonna work? I have no idea if this is gonna work, by the way. Okay, so that tab needs to go way over. This cutout here worked on my old car, so let's assume it works on this one as well. Hang on. Back there like that. Well, we're not far off. The dash bar is giving me some grief because this bracket wants to go back onto it, but I think that's gonna work. Let me get this dash bar out of here. Alright, get the dash bar out of there because this bad boy's got this mount on here which bolts up to it, which I will have to rethink if this works, because obviously this car has a dash bar in it, and the car that this dash came out of didn't. So this is made to go over here. Yep. That's made to go over there. Yep. Need to go in. Okay, so we're very, very, very close, but I do need to go in a bit further. This bar obviously sits back more than the old car did. Let's go back quite a lot actually, and I think I also do want to go over a fraction. Let me get the other half. Over and back, I'm fine. I think I just need to go that way a lot. So let's do that. Right, so I pretty quickly realized that this wasn't going to be the dash that I was going to use, mainly because the way this one was cut was that it slid in from the front, so the clearance for these tubes is in the back, whereas because this one's cut in half, it's going to slide in from the middle outwards, which means that I can clearance for the tube, you know, out this side here, and I can, all this empty space up here, I can leave that piece in there. You know, you don't really notice those big gaping holes up there from anywhere apart from, you know, like unless you get right up there, which who the hell's going to do that? But whatever, I can do it and I'm going to do it. So that being said, I just kept hacking away at this until it fit, and it fits up pretty snugly. I probably need to take a little bit more out of this one here, and then I'm going to need to make some sort of a fastening system to hold those two pieces together up there. And then I'll do another one down here, but you'll never see that one. It'll be on the underside. And then the trim panel through the middle should continue to hold it together. Door bars are in the same spot, so they fit up pretty well. I'm going to struggle to get the glove box and this piece in on this one with this being here, but I might just have to, I don't know, I'll work it out. But anyway, you don't really see behind the tube, so if you just hack it out and just glue those pieces on, it's fine. Whatever, that is done. So now I have to transfer these marks over to the new dash and cut that one, which is going to be pretty difficult, but so I can't really lay the other one on top, and I don't really have anything tangible to measure from. I could maybe take a measurement from the inside of these two vent holes to, you know, like make a triangle, work that out, and then that's the edge of my hole saw, but I still sort of could be off a little. I think what I will do is I will maybe, like I don't have any of this left anymore, and obviously I'm cut out sort of here, but I could cut, you know, this panel here like that out and sit it over the top. That's going to have me offset. Maybe I'll cut it along this ridge here, and then I'll go down over these vents and I'll cut that piece out of the dash, and then I'll sit it on top, line everything up, and then I can trace around where my notch is going to be, and then I just run the tube notcher through. I will also obviously have to do the same thing down here, but you know, that was just a hack anyway, because you don't see that. There's other panels that cover that. But anyway, that's unfortunately all the time I've got this weekend. It's pretty much it's about 2 weeks before Christmas, and I'm on holidays from next week, so we're going back to Queensland to visit family and pick up some cricket in Brisbane and stuff. So that's going to be me for the year. Now, you're not going to be seeing this anytime near Christmas. You'd be lucky if you get it before June, the way the channel runs. But I just thought I'd quickly do a bit of a wrap up here. There's probably going to be a pause over Christmas. I just don't have a backlog of videos edited. I'm actually struggling to get a video out every week at the moment. You probably noticed the editing's a bit lazy. I've got to the point where, like I said, I wanted 100 views per video, otherwise I would give up. And fortunate or unfortunate, I'm getting over 100 views per video, which is enough for me to continue going on based on my rules, but the channel's not really growing, it's not really exploding, and I sort of thought it was either going to do one of two things. It was either going to, you know, be like popular enough that people would watch it, you know, based on something, I don't know what. I'm not articulate or attractive, or there's, you know, I don't really have any good qualities that people want to watch, but I thought maybe that would be interesting in its own right, or I thought maybe the channel would just completely flop. Unfortunately, it's not doing either, and I don't have a clear direction on where I'm taking it. I've considered quitting a few times, but it is picking up slowly. I am getting more and more subscribers. I sort of am getting more views. The videos are very hit and miss. I don't know why. I would assume that people would want to watch, you know, a building roll cage video in series, but then like part 8 got way more views than part 4. So I honestly don't understand how any of it works. I think it's just like one person watching one video and not actually watching the whole series, whatever. But like I'm almost at 100 subscribers now, and you know, even if only 50 of them are actually watching videos and I help maybe 1 or 2 of them, that is enough of a reason for me to keep going. Because that's all I wanted to do, was to help people, show someone that, you know, this is within the realms of, you know, anyone's grasp, really. And if I help one person, that's enough of a reason for me to put in, you know, a little bit of extra effort, because, you know, I do go out of my way to help people all the time. You know, if you've talked to me on social medias, you know that I'm always willing to lend out, you know, whatever assistance I can, knowledge-wise, or, you know, lending tools, that sort of thing. So I'm kind of happy enough that I'm going to keep going, but I'm not going to invest any more time or money in the channel unless it does start to pick up significantly. So unfortunately, the lazy video editing style is going to continue. I won't be investing any more in, you know, any better camera gear or whatever. You'll notice I've also switched back to 30 FPS instead of 60 FPS recently, just because my computer's barely handling editing, and a 60 FPS video takes like 8 hours to render. And I'm not willing to buy another computer. I had planned to actually buy a rig for video editing. I'm using just an old school laptop that the kids weren't using anymore, and I knew it was never going to be up to the task, but it's working well enough as long as I keep the data on it down. So I just sort of back everything up onto hard drives, and, you know, you guys don't really care. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that thank you for sticking with me and watching, you know, the crap that I'm doing here. You know, I'm actually quite surprised that you know, 100 people are subscribed and that the videos are doing as well as they are. Thank you guys for that, but unfortunately, unless, like I said, unless something happens, I'm not going to be, you know, expanding and you know, doing 8-hour edits with lights and music and cutaways and all the things that people on YouTube tend to love. One day, maybe that might happen, but at the moment, it doesn't look like it. It looks like I'm going to carry on with what I've been doing. And I understand that, you know, my lack of success is completely and wholly and solely down to what I'm doing. If I, you know, did put in the effort to do amazing edits, I would get amazing views, but I don't see the value in it. I'm sorry, I just don't. You know, I don't want to be a full-time YouTuber. I don't want to, you know, spend 90% of my spare time working on it either. So, you know, I'm quite happy doing what I'm doing. I'd like to be doing a bit better, but, you know, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, this is me for the year. I will be back in the new year and I will continue recording it. I've got some holidays when we come back, so we'll get this thing finalized, roll cage. I'll get the harness mounted, we'll get the dash in, and we'll start reassembling. That thing there is also getting completely stripped, and it will be out of here in the next few weeks. So lots coming up. How much of it I'll record, I don't know. As much as I like recording for you guys, I also like getting work done. So it's a bit of a balance. But anyway, yeah, belated thank you. As I said, you guys probably won't see this until, you know, June or whatever. And yeah, we'll just keep on keeping on.